Okay, what do you need to confess here today? We love to hear them. Just text them into us, 877-979-WRMF. Oh, we got some interesting things that have been popping through here today. One person had texted into us, and they said, the guy that you keep calling the face eater, I actually spent time in jail with him, and I had no idea who this frail-looking white kid was. But there was a sign on his cell door that said, at least 3 deputies must be present at all times. And I was so confused because looking at this kid, you would think he could barely break in half a twig without trying. When I got to Gen Pop, I learned that this kid was the one who took drugs and then ate his neighbor's face. You would never have imagined it by looking at him.
Yeah.
I think it was more than one face, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2 people.
That's a terrible story.
Terrible story.
It really is.
And he's still in a psych ward, and there's talk of him getting out because he wasn't having like true mental problems brought on by your brain. It was brought on by drugs, specifically mushrooms.
But do you know that for a fact?
I had a cop tell me that.
So unconfirmed.
Off the record.
Okay.
That it was mushrooms.
Who knows?
I think you can test for mushrooms. Wouldn't that be in your system?
You would think.
It's an odd story. I mean,
It's a very odd story because how do you go from being normal 1 minute to eating people's faces the next minute? And they were like, he didn't huff anything. He didn't, take any cocaine or any pills. Like there was a bunch of stuff that they said he didn't do, but they never said anything about mushrooms.
But allegedly, and I don't want to get the facts wrong. This is a local story.
There's no way Virginia could be wrong.
But there were weeks and weeks. There were things going on and signs that were mentally disturbing going on way before the incident. So it wasn't like all of a sudden this kid was normal of thinking and then just all of a sudden went crazy.
No, I think he was abusing drugs for a minute, and it was mushrooms, and it was a lot of it, and it was like extreme amounts.
Well, the one that we had in Miami, that was bath salts. But why is it that South Florida has 2 face-eating stories?
It's terrible.
It is kind of crazy. Does any other part of the country have even one?
And that's why we have the Whacked Out News, and that's why people.
That's right.
I mean, Florida gets a lot
That's
of.
true.
Are we the only ones eating face?
We're the only ones really
I
getting
don't know of any
coverage.
other face-eating stories, and we've got 2. So I don't know what's going on with South Florida, but yeah, so who knows if that's legit or not. We just get the text and let you know what we are reading. One dad says, when I get tired of watching kids' cartoons with my 3-year-old, I put on South Park. I enjoy the program. He thinks it's a fun cartoon. Everybody's a winner. If his mom found out, she would kill me. Our little secret. Come on, bud. Can you imagine how surprised that mom's going to be when he starts dropping F-bombs?
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Another confession here says, I bought my wife a diamond bracelet for her 50th birthday. I got it in an auction for $2,000. It was valued at $5,000, so I was pretty proud of myself. But I noticed that she never wore it in a whole year, but I knew where she kept it. So I went, bought a replica, replaced it, and sold that puppy. The replica, $200. Cash it in for $5,000.
Wow. She didn't like it?
Maybe it just wasn't her style, but yeah,
that happens.
Would you not tell your significant other that you made that switch? Because he's keeping it quiet.
I mean,
he's figuring it's a subtle crime.
If she never wears it.
Right. He's too afraid to tell her.
I don't want to let $5,000 just sit in this drawer.
The whole time he's known what the value is. And how he could make a $3,000 profit. And he took advantage of it. He's like, if she's going to have a bracelet sitting in her drawer, might as well have a $200 one instead of a $5,000 one sitting there.
Maybe she's holding on to it for like a special occasion and she's going to go to wear it and she's going to realize it's not the same bracelet.
Maybe she won't. I mean, if she never wears it, is she going to realize it?
Maybe. Yeah.
Just if you take a shower and it turns green, it might be not
Your
the $5,000.
When she finally does go to wear it, it will turn her green.
Mm-hmm. This confession says, I programmed my buddy's TV to work remotely from my cell phone. So I would always mess with the channels and the volume when I was away, just knowing that I was creating all this headache for him. He actually then got so upset one time, he threw the remote at the TV and shattered the screen, and now I won't tell him what I was doing.
Boy, what a funny prank that is. I love when my friends do things. It's like, what a terrible terroristic prank to do.
I think he thought it was going to be funny until the remote went through the TV.
Well, I mean, that's going to drive someone mad. You're trying to relax after a horrible day at work. The TV keeps on turning at the QVC. The volume goes up, volume goes down. Horrible.
It's our little secret, I guess. One person texted in, they said, one of the weird side effects of taking Mounjaro is that I have stopped biting my nails. I've discovered that I didn't have a gross and unstoppable lifelong habit. I think I was just hungry. Yeah, they say it's very odd, all of the cravings that you have that these diet drugs are stopping. They didn't, I don't think, realize when they started doling this thing out that people wouldn't want to drink as much. But they say that's a definite byproduct for a lot of people is not craving alcohol. And I guess it blocks your desire for the sugars. And maybe it's the sugars and the alcohol is what you want.
It turns off the pleasure centers.
Yeah.
You don't crave things.
And we're not at all worried about like the effects in like 5 or 10 years, or just we're all just trying to get skinny.
I think people are kind of keeping an eye on that.
But you look good on Instagram, though. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Well, there's just all these little side things. You know, it's Ozempic, fill in the blank. And they keep filling in the blank with new things. It's very odd that all these things have little side effects on. I mean, I've heard a couple different terms, and I guess these are ones you got to get used to now.
I heard 2 people that were on Ozempic, and all they were doing was talking trash about how they never have to exercise again. I'm like, I don't know if that's how it works.
Well, no, in fact, they encourage you to do more muscle building exercises because people lose a good bit of muscle. But every week they're finding out that it's killing the desire for different things. The latest thing they had said was Ozempic users are claiming they've lost interest in pleasuring themselves.
Yeah, I can see that.
What? So you're becoming sexier, but now you're not interested?
It turns off those pleasure centers.
There are certain drugs out there that absolutely do that to you. There's SSRIs that are like that.
Yeah.
That can mess with your libido.
Huh. Crazy. And another confession here. It says, when a doctor asks you to leave the room for a moment and give the patient a little bit of privacy, just do as you're told and leave for a minute. It means that we are about to ask your husband or whatever something very personal but medically relevant. Like, have you ever cheated on your wife? Interesting. That's from a doctor's perspective.
Oh, I went into a doctor's appointment with my girlfriend, Honey Face, and I hated the questions being asked to me. I'm like, baby, I don't want you hearing these questions. These are so personal.
These skeletons belong in the closet.
I'm like, I'm not trying to be mean, but can you leave the room?